Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Marcus. Marcus speaks. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks. I'm your host. Let's get through a few things first, and then we'll get into today's show. But first off, see if I got everything right. All right, cool. All right, cool. Let's turn that off. So let's hit a few promotions first. And I would like to welcome everybody to Marcus Speaks Live, the very podcast that gives you trending topics and other random things. I would like to welcome everybody here tonight because tonight is going to be a memorable night, I tell you. With that being said, if you could like this video, subscribe, hit that bell icon to all so you get all my notifications once I go live, as well as share this to your social media, your friends, your family, and even co-workers if you fuck with them. So, with that being said, please do me a favor, write in the main live chat if you could, because I will be conversating back to you guys. Like I said, go ahead and subscribe to this here YouTube channel. But do me one favor, go to the description box right now, and go to the Rumble link. Hit that Rumble link if you haven't already downloaded Rumble. Hey, download Rumble. Download Rumble. Once you download the Rumble, come back to this description box. Hit the Rumble link and subscribe to my channel over there. I don't have like Rumble content, it's just ported YouTube content over there. So I believe this episode tonight will be over there sometime tomorrow, if not Sunday, maybe Monday or so. So if you could do me that one favor, just go ahead, hit that Rumble link, and make sure you go and subscribe to me over there. Every Friday I do this here game stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know your your region, please look it up. Alright? You don't know if you're in the Midwest or the West or Mountain or East Coast, I have nothing to say to you. You should know this already, you're grown. But this here show comes on every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marcus Speaks Play is coming upon us. And I had a little hiccup last week when I was testing some things, so I can't guarantee that Marcus Speaks will be back all the time. But once I get everything up and running, I will be streaming gameplay on Saturdays. And the time is to be announced. I'm judging on what goes on tomorrow and Sunday. when I'm trying to fix this thing, hopefully by probably next week, because I bought the what was it, the Ultimate Edition of Mortal Kombat 1. So I think next week I'm able to access that earlier than most customers who bought either the base version or the version between that and the Ultimate version. So hopefully next week I can start playing some Mortal Kombat. You guys can get that gameplay. But like I said, to be announced. So next week's show, next week's podcast, I'll announce if I'm going live either that next day or the following week. So if you would like to come up here and come talk to me, you can. Please hit that bell. I'm sorry. If you want to come up here and come talk to me, you can. You can hit the link that is pinned in the live chat, as well as you can call the call-in number, which I don't have that up yet, and I will announce when it is. Don't try to call me ahead of time, because I won't be taking calls unless, you know, I feel like it. So make sure you guys go ahead, know what's going on. Please go to the pin comment, and like I said, you can hit the link, or you can call in the call-in number at 302-283-9791. Once again, I repeat, that is 302-283-9791. All right. Now, with that comes rules. You have to follow all of my rules. So if you want to hit the link, all right, you must be on camera at all times. That means here in the background, here on the backstage, I mean, and if you want to come and talk to the people. If you don't want to be on camera to the people, hey, that's fine. Once you get back here, there's a question I would like for you to answer, so I can better service your requests. So once you get back here, answer that question with your name and your answer. I don't need a conversation back here. I just need to see your name and your answer next to it, and then I can better accommodate you from there. Okay, so that goes with the link. So with the link and the number, if you could, please silence all background noise if you can. It helps me, it helps people who can see you, who can hear you, and see you. So if you have a loud background, please go to a nice secluded spot or mute all noise behind you. That includes me. If you have me on your phone, tablet, computer, TV, whatever screen you have me on, please turn me down or turn me off so we can better hear you and I don't get any feedback from my show. All right? Next is just please like this video, subscribe if you're new here, hit that bell icon to also get all of my notifications once I go live, and please do yourself a favor and share this link out to people you love. All right? Now, if you have watched my show, you will know that I like to play videos. I like playing videos because it helps further the point of what I am making while I read the articles that I have and my own opinion. All right, helps me paint a much better picture for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. So, with that being said, I would like for you guys to pay attention to exactly what fair use is, because it's not only the law, it's also a YouTube policy and terms of service that I have to follow. So there's a fair use disclaimer in the description, and also this is what fair use is.
Hello everyone, I'm going to tell you about fair use. It's the law. Warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyright motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
All right, y'all, that's what fair use is. Now, let's get some music going up in here. How about that? How about we do that? All right. So, before I start the show, I do like to do a little banter. I like for people to get on in here, but I like to, start a conversation as well. So, with that being said, so I was on Twitter a couple days ago, and it was weird of what I saw, and what I saw was basically a young lady who was uh, complaining about a a professor, a scholar, and a all right, I would say, good woman to this here black community. Um, but before I say that, I forgot to say this. All articles and all videos are credited in the description box below. I do not own any of the material that I will be presenting tonight. All articles have been altered from its original state, and that includes titles, and the body of the article has been alterated. So, with that being said, I do not own any of the materials that I am using tonight. I am just using my own cognitive reasoning skills and shit like that, and I'm just going off of my own opinion. All right. So, okay, so the video, right? I'm gonna show you the video. Wrong thing. So, the video right here that I'm about to show to you guys basically is this young lady. All right. Let me see if I can have it fit a little better. So, I just fix everything. There. We'll do it like that. All right. So, this young lady here, I'm about to play the video. Let me pause it, take it back. All right. So, what I'm about to show to you guys is this young lady bringing up Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. But first, I want to shout out the Twitter user, which is it Dewey Look Nigerian or DOI Look Nigerian bitch at EG Shake Your One. That's the Twitter user. All right. So this has been floating around Twitter probably all week because people have been commenting on it about the stupidity of this lady. Now, reason why I say stupidity is because she is part of the Septum Ring Squad. Who's the Septum Ring Squad? It's a group of usually black women who feel as though that they've been enlightened while being in college, and they feel as though that they know exactly what they talk about. So, by being educated in the black feminist agenda. So this is what she had to say, and hold on, let me get the sound. All right, sounds on. All right, so this is exactly what she had to say when it comes to Dr. Frances Cress Wells.
Have you ever wondered why so many pro-black men are anti-feminism and homophobic? Unfortunately, it may be because of this black woman, Frances Cress Welsing. She wrote the ISIS papers as an attempt to try to find what the root of white supremacy is, why it exists. And in her understanding, she determined that the cause of supremacy is to prevent the annihilation of the race. Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with anti-feminism and homophobia? Well, She thought that Black men were the main target of white supremacy because Black men have the ability to annihilate the race through procreation. From that conclusion, she drew another conclusion that feminism is a supremacist ploy to get Black women to economically advance so far that they no longer needed Black men, and that the Black family unit would be destroyed, and then there would be no procreation of Black people. Which, when you think about it, is really sad because it reduces women to their role as an incubator for the next generation. But Black women weren't the only marginalized group within the Black community that she had a problem with. She also thought that homosexuality was a agenda to prevent the procreation of Black people through emasculating the strong Black man. In reality, the construction of cis heteropatriarchal gender roles and therefore cis heteropatriarchal sexuality is a product of white supremacy, making her an agent
Jesus Christ. All right, hold on.
needed role as an within the Black community that she had a problem with. She also thought that homosexual agenda to prevent the procreation of Black people through emasculating the strong Black man. In reality, the construction of cis heteropatriarchal gender roles and therefore cis heteropatriarchal sexuality is a product of white supremacy, making her an agent of white supremacy through her anti feminist rhetoric and her homophobia. If any of this sounds familiar, there's a reason for it. Pan Africanist Black men don't want liberation for all Black.
All right. Maybe I can find a better version because that's not where it stops. Let me look it up. Doctor Francis. Matter of fact, let me just go to Tariq Nasheed. I don't really like Tariq Nasheed, but let me just go to Tariq Nasheed. See if I can find it. There we go. All right.
Black men are anti feminism and homophobic. Black men and her homophobia. There's a reason for it. Pan Africanist Black men don't want liberation for all Black people. They want to be on top in a hierarchy of Black supremacy that centers Black men. Black, cis, heteropatriarchal values are just repackaged white supremacy.
All right. There we go. So you heard what she had to say, and it entirely makes no sense whatsoever. Here's why. Now, I'll read the Twitter user's post that he put, and he said, clout chasing cowards wouldn't debate Dr. Frances Cress Welsing while she was with us. Now that she's transitioned, they're coming out of the woodwork like the rats they truly are. Now, I believe when Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was alive, she only had maybe one or two debates, and every time she dusted every single person. Now, the people that she debated, let me look this up real fast. So Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing and who she debated. Let's see. So it was two people. Was it two people? No, that won't happen. So Dr. William Shockley embarked upon the mission of proving to the world that black people were genetically inferior. So that's one of the persons that she debated was William Shockley. The next person that she debated was let's see. Matter of fact, let's just go to her wiki page. So let's see. Blah. She believed in just do. Let's see. Welsing caused controversy after she said that the homosexuality among African Americans was a ploy by white males to decrease the black population, arguing that the emasculation of the black men was a means to prevent the procreation of black people. She also believed that white homosexuality was effeminate and an attempt by weak men at gaining more masculinity. Welsing believed that homosexuality is one of the products of the white people's race towards supremacy, using their own weaknesses as a weapon. So, basically, that was, I won't say in all that was what she was about, but if you read her book, The ISIS Papers, if you was that her only her works? Let's look up her works. So she has ISIS Papers, The Keys to the Colors. So that was her book that she wrote. I lost my copy. I need to buy another copy, to be honest. But she's appeared on Hidden Colors. I believe it was the first one. I believe it was the first Hidden Colors that she was in. Also, she was in a documentary called 500 Years Later, directed by Owen Alak Shahada and written by M.K. Asante. So, she died 8 years ago on December 30th, 2015. No, I'm sorry. January the 2nd, 2016 is when she died. My bad. Also, so basically her views, so in the ISIS Papers, she described white people as the genetically defective descendants of recessive genetic mutants. She wrote that due to this defective defective mutation, they may have been forcibly expelled from Africa, among other possibilities. So this goes into the Nation of Islam's views of the story of Yaqub. So basically, the story of Yaqub is that it was a big-headed African dude that basically grafted the African gene and see what he could do with it. So from the African gene, it states in what book was that? Was it Theology of Time, or was it Message to the Black Man? I think it was Message to the Black Man, but I could be wrong. It could be in the Nation of Islam's books online bookstore. It's either in Theology of Time or the it's either Message to the Black Man or Theology of Time. So basically, what the story goes is that Yaqub grafted the black gene and he made the brown man, which he what, like Arabs and Arabs, what's the Polynesian stuff like that. Then from there, he created the yellow man, which would be, I'm sorry, the red man, which would be your Indians and your Native Americans and people like that. Then from the red, you get the yellow, which would be your Asian, and then from the yellow, he then got to white. So the difference between every graft that he grafted from the African gene was the brown man, red man, and yellow man. They all were humanoid-esque to where they could walk on all two, basically a bipedal creature. Then from there, when he grafted the white man, he saw a defective mutation to where they had tails and they walked on their hands and feet. So this also goes into the Joseph story, of which the Yaqub story comes from. Not Joseph. Yeah, either Joseph or Jacob. I can't remember what biblical story it is where the man slept in a ring of fire to keep. Basically, I think in the Bible it says demons. So basically, the Yaqub story is he also slept in a ring of fire to ward off the white mutants or whatever defective graft of the black man, and then from there he started to domesticate them. And I'm paraphrasing the terminology, but he basically he took to a tree, he chopped the tree down, he made sticks out of the tree. He then took vines to then tie the sticks to the white mutations back so they could walk on all two. So from there, you chop the tails off, and then white people came about. As we all know, some stories go, or some research goes that the Eastern Europeans come from the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. This is basically where all of this is coming from. So, with that being said, she wrote that due to this, I'm sorry, I read it already. So, racism is the view in the views of Welsing is a conspiracy to ensure white genetic survival. So, okay, so let's go there. Joe Biden came out, was it last year, that white people aren't creating enough offspring, and by 2040, that white people will be wiped out of the world, which is a lie because it's more of them, or really, well, really, it's more of people that look like me than there is white people. But if you drum up the numbers, it's more white people because white people have conquered the world. Basically, they've been from South America to Africa to Australia to Asia to America, what have you. So, it's that view of that white people aren't creating enough of themselves, so they will be obsolete by the year 2040. I don't know where he got that science from, but it's not true. I'm just gonna let y'all know that now. It's not true. Now, could it be true that yes, they will be a minority by that time? Yes, for the simple fact that it's more black people and it's more Latinos as well. So that's all I have to say about that. All right, so let's move on. She attributed AIDS and addiction to crack cocaine and other substances to chemical and biological warfare by white people. Now, this could be true. This is why. Because during what? During slavery times, most slave masters would give their slaves alcohol on the weekend when they would be off and stuff like that. Not off as if they had a job, but when they weren't working. So let's say maybe they had a party or something. The slave masters had like a party for their guests or whatever. They would then allow the slaves to drink, not with them, but in their own areas, allow them to drink, and that could be a form of chemical warfare, as well as 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You have the crack epidemic. You have the heroin epidemic. You have fatherless homes. So that will go with biological warfare because you're basically of crack cocaine into the ghettos, as well as mechanical warfare as well. You put a gun store in every hood, so motherfuckers is buying guns and dropping off guns, illegal guns, in the neighborhood, so black people can kill themselves. So there's another tactic. So although all of this can be looked at in theory, it also can be looked at as true because you just have to do the you just gotta look back in history, in time, and see where certain things went awry with the black community, and then accompany it with why it happened, and then boom, there you go. So Welsing created a definition of racism, which is her theory of non-white genocide globally. She referred to racism and white supremacy synonymously. Her definition was racism, white supremacy is the local and global power system dynamic structured and maintained by those who classify themselves as white. Whether consciously or subconsciously determined, this system consists of patterns and prescription, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simu, simu, simultaneously, sorry, in all areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor law, politics, religion, sex, and war. The ultimate purpose of the system is to ensure white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation on Earth, a planet in which the overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, black, brown, red, and yellow. By white-skinned people, all of the non-white people are genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to the recessive white-skinned people. Welsing was against white supremacy and what she saw as the emasculation of black men. She theorized that white people were the first people with albinism who were driven from Africa by the black natives. So, what I went through earlier with the Yakub story it all ties in. All right, it all ties in. So, okay. So let's go back to the young lady's words. The young lady basically stated that Dr. Frances Cress.
Have you ever wondered why so many pro-black black men are anti-feminism and homophobic?
So basically, her claims is that you wonder why black men are anti-feminism and anti-homosexuality. Well, I happen to be a black man, so I can go through this. All right, I can talk to y'all about this. Here we go. The reason why most black men who are not homosexual is against feminism and homosexuality. Let's get to the feminism part. So, during the inception of feminism and white women fighting for their rights to be equal to their man, they then uh, they then came for black women to allow them to see that they were also being impeded upon by us. So, if we was to break this down, in a way where people could best understand this, right? So, what happened in the mid to late 60s, I believe it was. I believe it was Truman. He signed off a bill for welfare for black women to be able to get another means of income. You know, they weren't working. You know, most women weren't working. So this was a way to help black women, and not only just black women, but black women who had children. So basically, the stipulations were you can't have a man that lives in the house. Excuse me. And you also, couldn't be married to that man. That's the way that they could get the welfare. So with the welfare system, a lot of black women started getting on welfare, and they also offered housing. That's where the ghettos come from. That's where when you go to New York or LA or Miami or whatever city you go to, or any small town, you'll see that there are sets of projects, housing projects that tower certain areas. So basically, the housing project initiative was basically for single family people, single families, to be able to save enough money so they could buy a house. Work hard enough, have this place here for a while, save your money, and buy a house, and then the next tenants move in, and they can do the same thing. But over time, with welfare being something that a lot of black women were looking towards, because of white feminists getting in the ears of black women. Then you get, in the 70s, the divorce rate starts to go up. There's more single parent homes. That's where you get the movie Claudine. I forgot the actress that plays in it, but James Earl Jones plays the love interest to Claudine. I believe in the movie Claudine had 4 kids, and she was looking for a man to sweep her off her feet and live happily ever after with. Okay, so from there, the reason why black men are against feminism is because look at the way first generation, second generation, third generation feminism has looked in this country and possibly around the world. Is looking at black men fighting with their woman because of a different set of ideologies. So, this is where conservatism comes in, and this is where Marxism also comes in. Black man being the conservative, and then the black woman, not all, but some, being the Marxist. Now, there's several prominent black women who are Marxists. Name 3. You have Patrice Cullors, have what's her name, Annette Garza, whatever the hell her name is, and then you have the other one. I forgot her name as well. So they came out and said that they are trained Marxists. All right. Also, we have to look at certain HBCUs. I'll name one that sticks out to me, which is an all-girls college in Atlanta, Spelman. It's a lot of feminists that are in that college. Not only is there a lot of feminists in that college, it's a lot of homosexuality going on in that college as well, by way of feminism. Now, let's get to why black men don't fuck with homosexuality. Well, black men who aren't homosexual, let's put it like that. It's because we see that as unnatural. We see that as, you can't procreate with somebody that looks like you, that has the same tools as you. You can't procreate. I haven't seen it yet. Now, if you let her tell it, men can have babies. If you let her tell it. But I ain't seen a nigga that I know pop out get pregnant and pop out with a child. I haven't seen it yet. But if you let her and any other feminists tell, or anyone in the LGBTQ community, they will say, well, men can have babies, basically stating that the women who made their transition to a man is able to have a baby. So, black men and black people, I would say, in all, are primarily conservative. Why? Well, what are some conservative views? Let's look up conservative views. Hey, American conservatives tend to support Christian values, moral absolutism, traditional family values, and American expect exp, exp, hold on, acceptationalism, while opposing abortion. How do you say this word? I'm about to have my computer say this word. 1 second.
Euthanasia.
Euthanasia, same-sex marriage, and transgender rights. So, by this definition, and by black people being in this country, possibly the world, not just American conservatism. We were just talking, let's just X off Christian values to religious values, moral absolutism, traditional family values, and just all in all, acceptationalism. Also, all the while opposing abortion, I'm pro-life, euthanasia, which is basically killing a motherfucker, and same-sex marriage and transgender rights. All black men who aren't homosexual believe in those tenets. Me myself personally, I believe in those tenets. But although I don't want to see any homosexual harmed, any transgender harmed, my whole thing is stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. That's just how I see it. So let's also go over some more stuff of what she had to say about this, so I can also place my opinion on that as well.
Unfortunately, it may be because of this black woman, Cress Welsing. She wrote the ISIS papers as an attempt to try to find what the root of white supremacy is, why it exists. And in her understanding, she determined that the cause of race, that black men were the main target of white supremacy because black men have the ability to annihilate the race.
Okay, let's talk about that. Without a man, just in general, let's just put that in perspective. Without a man in general, you cannot create a child. Now, there's also alternative means out here. If we're sticking to traditional baby making, there is no way you can make a baby without a man. And vice versa. There's no way a man can try to make a baby without a woman. So, with that being said, who was kicked out of the homes? Black men. So there's no families anymore, right? To this day, like, it's hard to find a black family. They're out there, but it's hard to find a Christian value, Christian Muslim value, well, not Muslim, but a Christian value, black family that lives either in the hood or even in suburbs. Like, it's hard to find, and they're few and far between. So, okay. She also brought up that, no, I'm sorry. Let's continue with that frame of thinking. So, if there isn't a black man, so if black men are being eliminated, so what are the elimination tactics? Death, jail, crime. So those are the elimination tactics. So if those elimination tactics affect black men disproportionately more than any other race in this country, but we can probably bring in the Hispanics and the Latinos. But we're talking about black men, but we can bring in those groups, the Hispanics and Latinos, and if you probably in the northern Midwest, probably Native Americans as well. So, okay. So, with those three things, crime, death, and crime, death, what else did I say? I said crime, death, incarceration, and crime. I said crime already, sorry. There, right there, would be an elimination tactic to prevent the black man and black woman of being together. But you also got to frame in this new age shit, such as social media, because social media is basically so. I grew up in a time where there wasn't any social media up until I was, I don't know, 16, 17 years old when MySpace came about. Also, not only just MySpace, but Facebook and then Instagram. So you went from your town and your surrounding areas of finding a love mate to where now you have potential love mates at your fingertips around the country, if not the world. So that's kind of jacking up the is jacking up the what word am I looking for? It's jacking up basically the ability for a black male or black woman to find their potential love mate. Like, I can name off a few people that live in my town who's been together since maybe middle school, if not high school. This is before social media. So with that being said, also then let's get into black women being on welfare. There's not a lot of them. It's also, hold on. Let's bring child support in that as well. So, along with the black man being incarcerated, disproportionately locked up, uh, dying by the hands of either police or his own, you then create for the black man a volatile society for himself. Now, the reason why I know this is because I'm a black man. I've been through half of the things that I'm talking about right now. So, crime, basically, most black men, they look at getting a job, not myself, but some, not all, look at getting a job as a means to an end. Like, nah, I'm trying to get paid. Is how some black men think. I'm trying to get paid. I want some money. I want it now, and I want it fast. So then get into either drug dealing, theft, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? So from there, we then have, when it comes to, hold on, let's see what else she has.
Procreation. From that conclusion, she drew another conclusion that feminism is a supremacist ploy to get black women to economically advance so far that they no longer needed black men.
All right. So, I don't know the particular year but throughout time, black women have been going to school, right? But in recent years, as far as I would say since maybe the 80s, that's how far I would go back in the 80s, probably even further back. More and more black women started gaining their educations. Started becoming doctors, lawyers, what have you, social workers, what have you. To now, to the to the detriment of now of there are more single black women than there are single black men. Now, this goes into another study, possibly, of black women being undesirable mates at the end of the day. So this is what the statistics are stating is that black women disproportionately don't get married next to their white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian counterparts. They're disproportionately undesired than the other women in other nationality groups. So, if that's the case, due to is in another statistic, disproportionately more black women who go to college over men, but we got to look at the numbers. The numbers are there's more men overall, not just race, but overall there's more women than there are men. I think I said that wrong the first time. But there are more women, and bar none, to men. So there's one man to every 10 women. Or let's just put this in racial terms, or not terms, but racial standards. There's one black man to 10 black women. So 9 of those black women are going to miss out on finding a potential love mate. So with those statistics, can we actually say that black men are disproportionately more? Hold on. There's one point I didn't make. Another study also shows that black men are more desired than any other racial group. This ain't my studies. These is probably Pew Research studies or whatever. But to put this in perspective, is there a reason for all of this? Well, let's see what she says to that. Come on.
Anti-feminism and homophobic. Unfortunately, it may be because of people, which when you think about it is really sad because it reduces women to procreation of black people, which when you think about it is really sad because it reduces women to their role as an incubator for the next generation. But black women weren't the only
But that's just not black women, that's all women. I'm not personally calling black women or any woman an incubator for the next generation, but a man loves a woman, they get married, they then have a family. Like, I don't understand.
Marginalized group within the Black community that she had a problem with. She also thought that homosexuality was a agenda to prevent the procreation of Black people.
Maybe I'm reaching when I say this, but I don't see very many gay white men or gay uh, Asian men or gay, you name the nationality, when it comes to media, such as movies, television shows, stories in general. Mostly when you see a gay man in any of these venues, such as a TV show, movie, a novel, anything, it's mostly Black men playing these parts. So if it's not an agenda, why do we then have the LGBTQ community? Why is it that during slavery times, if a Black male slave got out of hand, the overseer or slave master would then bound his hands and feet to the ground to where he was stretched out, couldn't defend himself, and either the slave master or overseer would rape the man in front of women and children to show that that Black male slave will will not, and I repeat, will not try and take over this plantation whatsoever, because he will be bound to this punishment, or either hanging, or being shot, or being ripped apart by two horses. So her thought process is off by a long shot. It's off. Let's keep going.
Through emasculating the strong Black man. In reality, the construction of cis heteropatriarchal gender roles and therefore cis heteropatriarchal sexuality is a product of white supremacy, making her an agent of white supremacy.
I don't think so. This is why. And I hope this shit's almost over because this bitch is giving me a headache. All right. So let's go with gender roles. Now, research has came out, and this just doesn't do with just Black men and Black women. This goes with women and men in general. So research has came out that women are seeking conservative men. Why? Well, with these flower boys, these liberal men, they have basically taken on the the traits of women. Essentially, they have taken on the traits of women to where date one of these dudes, possibly you won't get married, you won't get, guys may have the same belief systems, but he's soft. He's a soy boy, like non-confrontational, unable to protect and provide. Mama's boys, basically. So I'm all for the strong Black woman, but when it goes to the Black male being emasculated in society disproportionately more than any other race in this country, you then have to start drawing parallels of what ain't working. Like I said, I'm more conservative when it comes to ideology. I'm a Muslim man, so also it draws another line in the sand of what I will not tolerate. So, on that, we will also have to bring up gender roles, of which she brought up. So, gender roles was placed here not by white people, not by black people. They were placed here because certain or genders have roles that they have to fulfill when having a family. The male, and some people look at this as archaic, and it's not. People don't think like that anymore, and blah blah blah, right? So, essentially, what is a man for within a family structure? Well, a man is for basically provisions and protection. There's a bump that goes on in the night. That man will then get up out of the bed, either have a weapon of some sort of his choosing, to see if he has to eliminate a threat that came to his home that threatens his family. He has to protect his family, right? Provision. Okay, let's take this back to the olden days. There was a rifle in every house. With that rifle, the man would have to go out and get food. How? He would have to kill something. Now let's bring it back to today. Well, a man has to have a well-paying job. I'm saying, in most households nowadays, the woman's working as well, so she's providing provision as well. But a male's job is to make sure that he is able to provide for his family. Now, it's not a woman's job to be able to provide for the family because, to be honest, no one really cares if she can or can't provide for the family. But when it comes to a man, if there is a family structure of male, female, and child, the man has to be able to provide for that family no matter what. Now, some men look at that as, well, I don't want to just be looked at as somebody who has to provide for a family. It's like, all right, dude, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, can you provide for your family if you're able to? If you're able to, then fine, you fulfilled your job. Can you protect your family? Yes, okay, well, you're fulfilling your job. Now, what is a woman's gender role within a family structure? Okay, well, what's the word I'm looking for? A woman's job in a relationship is to nurture, teach, and also show what love is to the child. Make sure the child is filled with love and happiness. Not saying that that's not a male's job, because a male, if he has male children, he also has to teach that male child how to protect, how to provide, how to defend himself as well. So, with her understanding of what gender roles are, she's forgetting one portion of that, and that is, without a family structure, there is no. I'm sorry. Without a man being in the family, there is no family. Now you can say, well, yeah, well, I grew up with just my mom and my siblings. They're my family. Okay, cool. I did too. But there is no family structure. Why? Because that single parent is usually working all the time to help provide for the family and to make sure that also, which this is where shit gets a little eerie, where the woman has to then make sure that, the child's nurtured enough, make sure that she's teaching the child right from wrong, and to make sure that the child has what they need as far as, manners, being able to go out in society and reflect the teachings of what the mother taught the child, as well as, making sure that the child or children aren't getting into any trouble, to where if you had a father in that family structure, although although children can still get in trouble when the father is in the home, but it's mostly more unlikely for the male child, for a child to get into trouble when a father is in the home, because the father also displays discipline. Or not displays discipline, gives discipline. So this is what I'm talking about when it comes to these septum ring liberals and stuff like that, just liberals in general. They want to basically rip apart ideologies and structures that we've had for millennia, and then try to come up with basically ideologies that don't work. They don't work whatsoever. Now, we live in a different time than what our grandparents did. I brought up this on one of my podcasts about my great grandfather, my Pop Up Otis, which is my mother's grandfather, my grandfather's dad. My grandfather basically worked his ass off, bought a home for his got married, bought a home to my grandmother, and then they had children. Well, there was 2 boys and 1 girl. With those 2 boys, he had to make sure he had to make sure that those boys had everything that they needed, as far as him teaching them how to be men. And teaching a boy child how to be a man doesn't start once he turns 18. That's since that starts when they're born. So with the girl child, that was then my grandmother's job to make sure she had everything she needed, how to take care of a family, how to nurture, how to what's up Maybach, how to nurture, how to take care of a family, how to love. Like, it's self-explanatory of what has to happen in a family structure. Like, it's not that it's wrong, it's what it's supposed to be. Now, I don't have anything against LGBT community members. I don't. But do I feel as though that within their relationship, next to a heterosexual relationship, it's more so to me that they're making it up along the way, while they try to produce a family in whatever way that they try to do that, and create their family and build their family to have possibly the same values, if not little off structured ones, next to a Christian family or Muslim family who the father, mother wants to see their children grow up and be great members of society, either being a doctor, a lawyer, a contractor, or even if they don't, go to college, I wouldn't. They want them to make sure that they have everything that they need to provide for themselves later on in life once they leave the nest. And I don't see anything wrong with that. Now, it's a point that she makes in this, which I thought was funny as hell. I can't wait for her to say it because I'm about to destroy her ass on this.
Through her anti feminist rhetoric and her homophobia. If any of this sounds familiar, there's a reason for it. Pan Africanist black men don't want liberation for all black people. They want to be on top in a hierarchy of black supremacy that centers black men. Black, cis, heteropatriarchal values are just repackaged white supremacy.
All right. I hope she's ready for this. Now, when it comes to Pan Africanism, I will call myself a Pan Africanist. When it comes to Pan Africanism, it's not just that black male patriarchy should be at the center of everything. It's what it is. Now, if a black woman wants a strong black man in her life to take care of her and her family, then there ain't no pussy shit that goes along with that at all. Now, by her saying that it's male centered, well, okay. A black man made the organization. Now, I've heard countless times black women saying in the black conscious community, you have all the men doing this, but it's black women that's basically doing all the office work or the grunt work, while they reap the reward for what these women are doing. Okay. I can't confirm or deny because I don't belong to any black conscious organization. All right. So I can't confirm or deny that any of that happens. But I will say this. If that's the case, those black men are providing protection, provision, and making sure that the ship stays afloat. Now, she says that she borrowed her ideology. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing borrowed her ideology from the patriarchy or the patriarchal mindset of black Pan-Africanists, right? Well, if a black woman is in search for a man that she wants to provide, protect, and make sure that she is well respected and loved, are you gonna go to a liberal male for that? Or are you gonna find a nice, strong, conservative man that holds values near and dear to his heart? He doesn't tolerate disrespect from anybody, and he will make sure if anything happens to you, he will be there to make sure that that threat is eliminated. Now, in Christian values, it's God, man, woman, child. Correct? That's in Christian society, of which she probably doesn't know this because she doesn't do her research. I don't know if she knew that women couldn't go to church back in the olden days here in this country, and I believe in Western Europe, women couldn't go to church because it was for the man to come and take what he learned from the the priest to then teach his wife what God is about, what Jesus is about, so then she could teach the children. You see how there's a hierarchy? It goes God, man, woman, children. There's a hierarchy in this shit. So if you don't allow a hierarchy in the reverence of living with your love mate, then the relationship's bound to fail. There's a certain thing called structure. This is one thing in one of my relationships that I was critiqued about. I was criticized about having structure. You're always on a schedule. Why are you on the schedule all the time? Like, why do certain things have to happen and you can't just be sporadic and whatever? Well, I can be sporadic, but I have to be able to know that I can deal with structure. If I don't structure myself, how the fuck can I structure you? Which you're making it an issue that I have structure, which means a long-term relationship probably wouldn't be my best bet with you. Because you criticize that I have structure in my life. Makes no damn sense. So, to her point, when it comes to the black male patriarchy, well, goddammit, if you lived with a father in the home, do you think your mother was running the show? Now, your father made it look like your mother was running the show. All in all, your father was running the show. Because your mother might have gotten your mother might have gotten her word out, but your father always got the last word. It's his family. He has to protect and provide for y'all. So he's listening to what your mother is saying, but at the same time, he's going, I get what you're saying. I understand. But this is my family. You're my wife. And this is what it's going to be. And this is what it is. Take it or leave it. So her whole 2-minute, 39-second video basically is a bunch of bullshit for liberal women, homosexual women, and whatever that thereof, or whoever else is basically. This is basically what they're doing in their relationships and in their lives. It makes entirely no sense whatsoever to even fight the fact that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it shows every time they open their mouth with some sort of alternative way of thinking that has yet to be debated and studied to see if it's right or wrong. Which 25% of the time, I'm sorry, 100% of the time, it's always wrong. So, I'm sorry I went long with the small banter, but hey, this is exactly what the fuck is going on with this, with what's going on with this, and it's weird. To be honest, it's really weird. So, let me get this back in order. Alright, I got it. podcast. All right, so that's basically what I want to say with that. All right, so that concludes the small banter portion of today's show. Let's move into today's main topic, why don't we?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
So today's main topic overview is Brittany Renner goes viral this week with bizarre behavior. So if you guys haven't seen none of this, y'all guys, oh my gosh, you guys haven't seen any of what happened this week on the Danza Project. This is a podcast I didn't know anything about until this week. Basically, Brittany Renner, Charleston White was on the podcast, and it was basically just asked questions because I believe they've made content about each other within the past years or whatever. So the two hosts, I don't know their names, nor do I care. They had them on to talk about certain things, but your girl, when asked a certain question, was losing her fucking mind. Like, literally losing her fucking mind. Like, it's better if I show y'all to tell y'all. So, how about we get into the first video of today, fair use, and this is how it went.
PJ just got an amazing contract. How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that's your baby father? What is your first view on that?
Honestly, I want my child's father to win. It's just what it is. And regardless of what people say, I believe he deserves whatever he feels he's worthy of. So, whatever that contract looks like, that's what it looks like. And I didn't have a child. You know, I had a second-degree tear. You know what that looks like?
All right, so this is where shit starts going a little off the rocker. Okay, so let's recap what's happened so far. One of the hosts asked Brittany about her baby father, ex-husband, new contract that he has gotten, or he has signed, being in the NBA. I don't know how much it's for. Maybe I can look it up. But from what I hear, it's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of money that they're offering him. And, you know, he chose to sign. So, you know, he'll be making upwards of whatever millions that he'll be making. And this was her reaction to what was asked. Here we go.
I'm gonna say,
Hello?
say no. I'm gonna say no for all of us.
Is everybody fucking
I'm just gonna
listening?
say no.
Hello?
Yeah, your
A
son.
second-degree tear? You know what that looks like?
I mean, that boy was that big when you had him.
He was, I think, 5,
That means she had a big baby.
almost 9 pounds, right?
Another NBA player.
Does that matter to you? Does that matter to you? Who had such a motherfucking opinion about me?
Wait,
Does that
time out.
matter?
It's grew.
Hold
My
on.
opinion changed, but
Hold
yeah,
on! Answer the motherfucking question.
no. No, it didn't initially. No, hell no.
Okay, I had a second-degree tear. That means they sewed me up.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay. So, I don't know why she was being loud. It didn't call for her being loud whatsoever. She was only asked, how do you feel about your ex-husband signing his new contract? She says that she doesn't feel any way about it. Whatever she feels, though, that her ex-husband feels is good for him, she thinks the same. If it's good for him, then it'll be good for himself and his child. So, you know, she's getting her child support money, so it really doesn't matter how she really feels about anything. But she started to get a little irate, start talking about a second degree tear. So I'm guessing her vaginal canal ripped during childbirth, and she had to get sewn back up. Which, when having big babies, that tends to happen. So, anything 8 pounds, whatever ounces on up, that happens sometimes, not all the time.
You know what that means? That means I love that motherfucker. My pussy was fucking split open for him. You understand that? You almost 9
More ways than one. Hold on.
pounds. Okay?
Gratefully, I had a 5-pound baby.
Good for you.
Yeah,
My baby was almost 9 pounds. Okay?
Yeah.
And she is a small girl.
And that's just what it is. All right?
No, I wanted to say that because I think it is important. A lot of people do
What's important?
that you do wish well for.
Most.
Here's the thing. Let me just tell you, you and every one of the motherfuckers that are commenting, she's doing too much. At the end of the day, this pussy had a second degree tear. Do you know what that means?
You just taught us.
Ripped.
What is it?
Ripped.
Thank you, Charleston.
Ripped open.
Ripped.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, boy had a head like his daddy.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Boy had a head like his daddy.
Yeah.
Now she starts kicking things over, but it doesn't. It gets worse. It gets way worse. You want to see it? Here it goes.
Damn, Chips Ahoy.
All right.
Hold on.
So, a ripped fucking vagina. Hold on.
Say it again.
For the people in the back.
Let me tell you something. 50 pounds. Do you hear what I'm saying?
That boy born 50 pounds?
No, you gained.
I gained 50 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Charleston, 50 pounds. That's just somebody, I'm just whatever. This is about money. Let me tell you something. I can't be bought.
Well, if you let her tell it, she wrote a book about how to get a NBA player or NBA or NFL player. That was one of her books that she wrote, or the book that she wrote. Sorry. She says she can't be bought, but I would say otherwise because by the time the baby was out, she was ready to go. She was gone. Filed for divorce from PJ. PJ then tweeted, I felt like this whole time I was living a lie. Because Brittany came out the woodwork after they got, she basically scouted this boy. She scouted this boy. When he was in college, he was 22 years old. When they got together, she was all of maybe 28, 29 maybe. They're together for a good year. They have a baby. They get divorced. I think they was together all of maybe 2 years. So it's like, come on, yo. Like, we see the error in your ways. And it's like you can't say one thing while we see exactly what you're doing. Like, wasn't it you that was in your car crying about no one wants a hoe? No, this is during the height of the whole red pill thing going on. She did a whole interview with with Kevin Samuels. She did a whole entire interview with Kevin Samuels where she basically, was answering his questions about, love, relationships, what she feels as though she wants in a relationship, how she should conduct herself while in a relationship with a man and stuff like that. This is all the things that Kevin Samuels was asking her, or whatever. I'm not too sure if they slept together afterwards. I'm pretty sure being Brittany Renner, I'm pretty sure, by Kevin's request, if he asked, they probably laid down with each other. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Samuels probably got that. Because you gotta remember, Kevin Samuels was the hottest thing in 2020 and 2021. The hottest thing, the greatest thing since sliced bread in 2020 to 2021. So
that's what all these people in the chat can't seem to understand. They think I can be bought. They think that it's just about money. It's just whatever. It's the highest bidder. I believe in true love.
I heard her say that. But
I said it 100 fucking times.
Hey,
Hello.
here we go.
hey, listen, now listen.
Listen to what I'm fucking saying. Shut the fuck up when a real bitch is talking.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Get
Shut
the
the
roll.
fuck up.
Take the roll.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Yes, ma'am.
That came out of nowhere. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. Hold on, here we go. Check this out.
Wait.
She's throwing stuff at people. Now, we don't know who's behind the cameras, but I don't know if it was somebody that Charleston was with or the two podcast hosts, producers, right? So, I'm guessing that the two guys behind the camera, they was laughing because it is laughable what she's doing. Like, why are you yelling, sounding irate of them asking you a question about PJ? Now, if you look at if I played this back, which it starts from the beginning, the I guess he's Spanish or Italian or something. He asks Brittany, so your whole PJ blah 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 blah. Y'all didn't. I don't know if you guys peeped it, but did you see her face? Let me remember this timestamp. 3:58. So let's start from the beginning. Check this out.
PJ just got an amazing contract.
You see her reaction? Like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, what do you mean? Where did that come from?
How does that make you feel as a woman knowing that you
Play it again.
got an amazing contract?
That doesn't look like somebody who was in love. That doesn't look like somebody who was in love. Someone brings up your ex, you look all dumbfounded. Like, why are you bringing him up for? Like, there's a reason why he's bringing that up, because you have history with this person. This person just had articles written about him in sports magazines and sports blogs of him receiving a new contract that has exponential amount of millions on it, and he wants to know your opinion on it and how you feel about it. And you give the reaction that you gave. And this is what the hell she's being irate.
You didn't mean it.
Shit.
Hello? You don't know what it's fucking like.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry. I meant to hit this nigga.
Wrong guy.
Let me tell you
Wrong
something.
guy, champ. Wrong guy,
Shut the
champ.
fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
We good.
Shut up. When I'm
Did you hear what she was about to say? Let's play that over.
fuck up. This right here is about to go. Let me tell you something.
She was about to say this is about to go viral, which which means she's doing this on purpose. Why would someone be acting like that after being asked a question about your ex? There's no reason for this behavior whatsoever. No entire reason why she's acting the way that she's acting. Like, it makes no sense. If I was in Charleston's seat, I wouldn't be laughing and carrying on like everybody else is. I'd be looking at her like this. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not understanding why are you doing this? Like, why are you yelling, being irate, having people have to calm you down? Like the podcast hosts, they did nothing to try to de-escalate this whatsoever. Like, I understand, yeah, you gonna get the views, this shit's gonna be viral, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna sit here and reap the reward of all of this. But when somebody is standing up, yelling, throwing shit for no entire fucking reason because somebody is laughing at her, it makes entirely no sense whatsoever. Like, why are you doing this?
Bruh. We good.
Shut up when I'm fucking talking. Yo, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit that nigga. Because you sitting over here laughing.
Because this shit is funny. You steady yelling, hello, hello, hello. Do you hear me? I had a 2nd degree tear. Like, what does that have to do with the question that this man just asked you? The man asked you, how do you feel about PJ's new contract? Your answer. And then we're seeing this as the audience. We're seeing you yell at the top of your lungs for no entire reason. Well, it has to be a reason for this. Either she's on drugs or they were drinking and she doesn't know how to hold her liquor good enough, or she needs to get off them pills or whatever drug she's taking, because that ain't weed. That is not weed that she's smoking that's making her act like that. Trust me, I've seen motherfuckers on weed. They the most euphoric motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. The most happiest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. Anything's funny. But if they were in this room smoking and then was watching this in person, they was one of the producers, or let's say that these guys has an entourage or whatever, I'm pretty sure that would kill their high. Like, what the hell's... Hold on, dog. Like, you fucking up my high. Like, what are you doing? Alright, well, it gets worse. It gets worse. Let's see if I can find it. Cool.
What I'm going through. So nobody, you, him, whoever the fuck, you don't get to sit here and talk about shit. Ain't nobody.
So what are you going through then, Brittany? Like, what is your reason for all of this? It has to be a reason. Now, let's see. Blah, former boxing champion. His name is Shannon Briggs. So I believe that is the gentleman in the maroon shirt. I don't know who the other guy is. Yeah, it doesn't say who the other guy is. All right, so let's continue.
Drunk bitch talking about nothing.
Because I probably won't even read this. I probably I probably won't even read this article that I got from the U.S. Sun because it basically, the video, I can just go off the video to be honest. So let's keep going.
Family
What's up?
Here. We family here.
What's up?
We family here.
What's up?
Champ, no,
I ain't talking about nothing.
We all right, champ.
Yeah.
We
I
all
ain't
right,
talking
champ.
about nothing.
We family.
This is Charleston's people, not mine.
She all right,
It's
champ.
Charleston's
She all right,
people.
champ.
No, we family.
He say you all right. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Champ.
Baby in my shit then.
It's all good.
Baby in my shit then.
Come on.
Then shut the fuck up.
Ask me about my
Chill.
Yeah, but
Let's
hit your
relax. Let's
motherfucking
relax.
buzzer,
Let's
bitch.
relax.
All right, let's reset the room. Let's reset the room.
It is what it
guys.
is.
Let's reset the room.
It
guys.
is what.
Now, this is where shit really goes left. Check this out.
It is.
Everybody cool, guys. Everybody cool.
It is what it is.
This shit is wild, yeah. This shit is wild. All right, so cut to, right? Cut to her and like as I said, Charleston White was on the show as well. And after that exchange, after she calmed down, after she was, I guess, I don't know, got a sip of water and was able to collect herself, this is what happened afterwards.
It's uncomfortable to be wet. I've never been wet before, but yeah, I'm sure it's uncomfortable to be wet.
You know, moist is one thing, but wet is just.
Before the rest of this plays, I don't know if I'll be kicked off of YouTube after this, but I'll take my chances. Here we go.
It ain't what we shooting for. You know what I mean?
Isn't that?
Miss Man.
No,
Miss
come on,
Man.
please. Come on, man, please.
No?
Come on,
I
man,
need you
please.
to. I need you to be
Please.
calm. It ain't what we shooting for. You know what I mean?
Isn't that?
Miss Man.
No?
No,
Miss
come on,
Man.
please. Come on, man, please.
No?
Come on,
I
man,
need you
please.
to. I need you to be kind and respectful to my guests. Oh, where that pig poker at, man? Go ahead and get the pig poker out.
All right, so she seduces Charleston White. I didn't know this. I didn't know that Charleston White was married. I didn't know that. So as you hear him pleading, like, please, like, come on, yo, like, don't do this. Please, can you not do this? And she's persistent. No, come on, you know what I'm saying? Let me give you a nice little lap dance. You know what I'm saying? I should have played this one first. Hold on. I'll play this one first, and then I'll go back to that.
Brittany Renner off of.
So
Yo.
this is what she does.
She off a pill or something.
She gives
Yo.
him a lap dance.
Yo,
As I said, I don't know
man.
if I'll get kicked off of YouTube.
Yo.
All right, so let's go back to the other video.
It's uncomfortable to be wet.
Yeah.
I've never been wet before, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep pausing this.
No,
Miss
come
Man.
on, please. Come on, man, please.
No?
Come on, man,
need you
please.
to. I need you to be kind and respectful
But at the same time,
to my
like
guests.
Just he enjoys this shit.
Oh,
But
where that pig poker
he's
at,
all,
man?
he probably also
Get the
is
pig poker out.
uncomfortable.
Wait
Like,
a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't.
There was like he didn't deserve that whatsoever. Like he's just enjoying the scene that he sees. It's basically high-fiving your homeboy. He got Charleston White on the show. Charleston White is getting an impromptu lap dance. Oh, he high-five? Go ahead, Charles. You doing your thing, homie. Do your thing, cuz. I see you. To then get water thrown on him. So I believe the question was, have you ever been wet or something? Charleston White talking about, nah, being wet is uncomfortable. I guess being wet, being in, clothes. Like, nah, being wet is uncomfortable while you dressed up. It's cool if you know what I'm saying, at the pool with some pool gear on, but you know what I'm saying, I got a hat, I got a hoodie on, I got some, you know what I'm saying, some jeans and some tennis shoes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm chilling. Like, I ain't trying to get wet. I ain't trying to get water poured on me. And then she throws. I was talking to a coworker of mine. I was telling him about this. I said, how many ounces is a normal bottle of water have in it? And he was like, well, somewhere around like 16 ounces or so. I was okay. So she threw 8 ounces on it on this dude. Let's see it again when she throws it. Pan it back a little bit here. That's 8 ounces of it. Oh,
Wait a minute. I did nothing for that.
You did nothing.
Oh, that's wait a minute. Miss Renner.
For what reason? What reason
We
did
now
he deserve that?
can look back.
There's no reason that he deserved that whatsoever. Now, we talking about she giving him a lap dance to then, I don't have that other picture, to then her throwing a bottle of water on 2 people. Now, she did utilize that bottle of water. I do want to point that out, that she did utilize that bottle of water. But you threw it on somebody that had nothing to do with what the hell was going on whatsoever. Like, he had nothing to do with what was going on. You asked Charleston a question. Charleston didn't answer the question. You then persist on giving this man a lap dance, not once, but twice. Shaking your ass in his face, shaking your ass on him. And in no way, shape, or form did it constitute for the champ. What was his name? I forgot what his name was. Something Brooks or something like that. What was his name? Shannon Briggs. He had nothing to do with what was going on, other than he just trying to interview you. He wants to see a good, he wants to have a good time interviewing both you and Charleston, because you guys have history with, as far as creating content about each other, and that is what happens. Like, it makes entirely no sense the way she was acting. Now, the night of the podcast, which was Monday night, this started making its rounds Tuesday morning. So the night of, when she started to, give Charleston a lap dance, when her dress went up, they had to put the show on private, because I believe that they were live. So they had to put the show on private after that, and make it members only. Now, I'm not too sure by now if they have edited those parts out and then put the video back to public. Because I haven't been back because I really don't care. But her antics were not called for at all. What she was doing on that podcast was disgusting. Not disgusting that she's giving a lap dance to anybody, because I'm pretty sure anybody, would, any man would love to receive a lap dance, you know what I'm saying? If you're single, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're just chilling, some girls come by, I'm pretty sure he would love to get a lap dance of some sort. By any woman that he deems as pretty. But after her having that question posed to her, she then acted like a fucking lunatic for no reason. But this is exactly what we get. Plus, I believe by her doing that, by her gaining all of this attention all over again, it's putting her back in the conversation of people talking about her again. Because it was a stint where we weren't really hearing anything about Brittany until now. So, my last words on this is basically, she's a crazy bitch. And I ain't got nothing else to say other than she a crazy bitch. All right, so that concludes the main topic of today. We are now going to move into the random topics portion.
This is a certified hood classic.
So tonight's random topic overview is Biden sets up for another lockdown, allegedly, and the national U.S. debt is rising. So, basically, this is what's going on. I'd rather show you better than I can try to tell you off the top of my head. Here we go.
We now can look back. It's no longer a novel virus. It's no longer we don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
We have been through this now for 3 solid years. Okay. Why would you do anything that didn't work before? I can't wrap my mind around it. And the mask mandates have no impact, and they do not work. The only thing the mask mandate can do is get you acne around your mouth. Okay?
Basically. Didn't Fauci say, when everything was said and done, that everything that he drummed up was just precautionary? He didn't know that it will work at all. The six feet apart was something that he got from China. The wearing masks, knowing that he knew that the particles were small enough that it could pass through a mask, even possibly an N95, of which, after one single use of an N95, you gotta throw that damn thing out. It's no good. So we basically went through something that we didn't have to, because number one, it's a novel coronavirus, such as a common cold or the flu. There is no vaccine for any of that. For the common cold, flu, they say it's a vaccine, but let's be honest, it is a virus, but whatever. But there is no vaccine for the common cold. Common cold has, you just gotta stick with it. Endure, go through with it. Such as this virus that we know of now, of which they have a new variant, 2 new variants, but we'll get into that later. Let's continue.
They don't work. The virus is tiny. This is not bacteria. Okay, it's a virus. These things that you can get at the store, whatever, they don't help at all. Okay, and so we're going to start making people wear them again in certain places. We have 2 stories today. There's some saying that we're going to get to where you're going to have to wear them again on airplanes again because of this new.
So, so far, certain schools around the country, some hospitals around the country, and they said by October that airlines will be enforcing again mask mandates. After us finding out that none of that shit works. But heck, who the fuck am I? You know? Who the hell am I? I don't know shit.
But they don't work. And then let's say you think that they work. Like yesterday, we had a young lady waiting on Sherry and I as we were having dinner. And the very nice young lady, she's wearing it on her mouth only. Her nose is completely exposed. This mask insanity, it doesn't. So we have an Atlanta college that is bringing back COVID mask mandates as government doctors in Seattle call for face coverings for healthcare workers because of this new variant. First of all, the new variant doesn't appear to be deadly at all. It is highly transmissible, as most viruses are.
Yeah. There have been cases in San Francisco. There's been cases here in Maryland. There's cases, I believe they said, in North Carolina and certain other states as well. But it's not across the board yet. It's not all over the country. Hell, the last one wasn't even really all over the country like that. It's just, we learned about it, found out about it, lockdown. It was only supposed to be for 2 weeks to curve it, but then 2 weeks turned into 3 years. And we just got out of it March, if not April of this year. So for Biden to then think that, hey, we gonna do this again. Why?
And a lot of people have gotten it and are testing positive with it, but they're doing okay. But the mask is not going to help. It doesn't. It does more damage than it does good. And we're going to do it again. Can somebody explain that?
Well,
to me?
that was one of the reasons we wanted to have that discussion after things had a couple of weeks ago about what did we do wrong and how we can correct it next time. But it seems like a lot of people are dead set on going back and using things that didn't work. I tell you, the real thing we don't need to do is isolate. If you're sick with it, you want to go home, stay away from everybody. You're going to be sick a few days, then come back to work. When you lock down and isolate, we're actually breaking up the biggest weapon we've got, and that is herd immunity.
Correct.
Exactly.
And we can't do that again.
Especially when it's not dangerous.
Right.
And
what is the first thing when you was a child? Now, I don't know too many kids now who get it, but when I was younger, my best friend's little cousin had chicken pox. So I hadn't got it yet. We was both all of 8 or 9 years old. I believe I was 8 years old when I got it. So he had it. My mom sent me over my friend's house. Like, she came to me and said, "Go over Josh's house for me, please." I said, "Why?" I'm laying down, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired. You heard what I said. Go over Josh's house now. So I got up, went over his house, knocked on his door, sat on the couch, was playing PlayStation. His cousin was around us. Now, who's the first person between the two of us that was there? Well, it was more kids there, but added me and my friend. Let's just say all the kids. It was like 6 of us there. The first person to get it was me. Because when I was young, I had a weak immune system. I got sick all the time. So, probably 2 days pass, I see a bump on my arm. It's itchy. I start scratching it. Okay, well, that's where the virus was. I scratched it and it started touching my body. By the time I woke up the next morning, it was everywhere. And I contracted chickenpox due to my best friend's little cousin having it, which is what? Herd immunity. Why? I contracted the virus. The virus is now in me. My body fought it off. I no longer can get chickenpox now. Because now my body can recognize, oh, that's chickenpox. We already know what to do with it. Now, I haven't gotten measles yet, thank God. Let me knock on wood. I haven't contracted measles yet. Don't want the shit. But they said measles is way worse than chickenpox. And thank God I hope I don't get that shit. But also, another barrier of what they do for us, which is insane due to vaccine injury, is they give kids a cocktail of vaccines. Now, I don't even know the number of how many they give. Well, let's ask Google that question. How many vaccines do children get? Let's see. What's the number? How many vaccines do children in the U.S. receive? Up to 10 different types of vaccines. That's a fucking lie, because I believe the actual number is way higher than that. It's like, hold on. Children. Let's see. How many vaccines should a child get at once? Up to 5 at once. That's crazy. How many vaccines can children handle? Up to 10,000 vaccines at any one time. Wow. Which vaccine is given at the age of 2? The Hep A, which they shouldn't be getting at. They get 2 doses, should be given between ages 12 to 23 months. Both doses should be separated by at least 6 months. Children 2 years old and older who have not received 2 doses of Hep A should complete the series. What percentage of children are unvaccinated? 0.9%. For children born during 2018 through 2019, meeting the Healthy People 2030 objective of less than 1.3%. This report did not identify any overall decline in vaccination coverage associated with COVID-19 pandemic among all children. Now, YouTube, I'm reading this off of Google, so don't strike my video. Okay, childhood vaccine schedule. So let's see. by the age of 15 months, your baby may receive up to 10 different types of vaccines. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends all healthy babies receive these initial vaccines. So, what are the type? What are the different types of different vaccines? You have hepatitis B, rotavirus, diphtheria, BTAP. I'm not saying that long ass fucking word. HIB or HIB, PCV13, IPV, influenza, measles, mumps, and rubella, varicella, hepatitis A, human papilloma virus, and then let's just do this way.
Meningococcal.
So birth vaccines is Hep B. Vaccines for babies include the first dose of Hep B. I guess they get that once they're born. 1 to 2 months is Hep B. 2 months vaccine is rotavirus. Hold on, let's do this whole thing.
Diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pertussis.
Okay, so the pertussis virus. Vaccine.
Haemophilus influenzae type B.
Okay.
Pneumococcal conjugate.
Okay.
Inactivated polyovirus.
Okay, so 4-month vaccines are basically the same except for I guess they get their second round of all of that. So 6 months they get the influenza, the rotavirus, which I guess is the third round. Then I guess they get the other third rounds of that as well. 6 to 18 months they get the Hep B and the inactivated polio virus vaccine. Then 12 to 15 they get measles, varicella, and then they get their third round or fourth round maybe of these.
Haemophilus influenzae type B, HIB, pneumococcal conjugate.
And then months 12 through 23 as well, they get the hepatitis A, and then they get their fifth round of, or their fourth round, because I didn't see that.
Diphtheria, tetanus, and acellular pertussis.
Yeah, they get their third round of that. Yeah, they get their fourth round of that. Okay. And everything else is basically like their fourth to fifth round of that. They get their measles, mumps, and rubella. Then they get their human papilloma virus, 11 to 12 years. And then they get at 16, which I don't remember getting this shot. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I don't remember getting it. But let's see.
Meningococcal.
Yeah, I don't remember getting that at 16. I might have, but I'm not sure if I did or if I did not. But they say by 16 you should have it. I probably had it, so yeah. All right, let's keep
Especially
going.
when it's not dangerous. Now, to some of our older people, or again, you have special respiratory issues,
Sure.
you might have to have consideration.
But people have to do that all the time anyway.
Yes, yeah, you do that for the flu.
Yeah.
The vast majority of us are fine. We need to live our life. If we get sick, go home while you're running a fever, take Advil, come back to work.
I would say,
and we are seeing an uptick on it, and we're going to. It's going to keep floating back around from time to time.
But let's don't destroy the economy again. Let's don't, like you said, isolate people. Let's send people home. Let's let everybody else keep working. If somebody gets sick, they'll go home too. They'll come back, just like we. How many times have you heard, "Hey, there's a stomach virus that's running rapid at the school"?
Oh yeah,
and then everybody.
You hear that damn near every year. That there's a stomach virus going around. Somebody got a stomach flu. Now, I never got a stomach flu. My sister has. My sister still gets them because she works with children. So she still gets all that stuff that they get, but she's had all the shots just like everyone else has. But the same amount of shots that kids get now aren't the same amount that we got when we was growing up. So, it's crazy, man. That he would think that doing lockdowns again, and then he said, "Oh well, we also have a new patent for a new vaccine," and it's like the ones before didn't work, and I'm pretty sure the one that you're trying to put out there isn't gonna work. Of which, can't say this on here, but go and watch the movie Died Suddenly. Also, they said that it was a reason why it was being spread and mutating at such a rapid rate of getting the jab. So, you got the jab, then you get the 2 booster seats. So you get a whole round trip on this plane we call COVID lockdowns, and people just started dropping. Young children, old people my age. Which they flubbed the numbers, you know what I'm saying that there was a death today because of the sickness, and they probably died because they probably died because it was from something else in the beginning, but once the vaccines started rolling around, everybody started getting jabbed up, people just started dropping like flies. Like, another death. Oh my gosh, another death. Like, where the hell was this? Like, what was happening? Well, now I don't know if I got it or not, because both times I got tested when I got sick, my results came back negative. So, I don't know what the hell was going on. So, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I just know that, 2020, if not 2021, was the first time since 2015 or 14. No, 15. 2015 was the first time I got sick. I hadn't been sick for like 6 years. No colds, no flus, no nothing. But 2021 or 2021 and last year was the first times I got sick in a long time, and that shit hit me because I hadn't been sick in a while. Like, that shit hit me. So, like I said, I don't know if I had it or not, but if I did, that shit kicked my ass for a few days. Until I was like, the hell with this. I got up, I got my ass up. I went to the store, got some chicken soup. Like moms used to do back in the day. Load me up with some chicken soup, some orange juice, some cold and sinus medicine. You know what I'm saying? Some Advil to stop my head from hurting. And that shit went away, I had it probably for a week. After that week, symptoms started to subside. After that second week, I didn't feel that the same way again. But, you know, this is what happened.
Hey, today, the flu was so bad that we had this many absent students today. Right. Well, you don't shut school down. And we don't need to do it for this either. People get sick. Unfortunately, they will always get sick. This has moved into the category of so-and-so's not here today because they're sick. That's it. And we don't need to do anything else. And some of this is starting to click up. It's just ridiculous. And this economy cannot take a shutdown again. It's still recovering.
Because I'll get into the economy with the next story. So President Joe Biden is gearing up to declare, I got this from the Washington Examiner, Biden is setting the stage for another round of COVID lockdowns. Be prepared. Gearing up to declare yet another round of COVID-19 emergencies, and he is setting the stage for more jab mandates to go along with it. Biden announced that he will ask Congress for more funding for new COVID-19 jabs. What was wrong with the previous jabs? Here's what Biden himself had to say. Emphasis on mine. I signed off this morning on a proposal we had to present to the Congress, a request for additional funding for a new jab that is necessary, that works. So those jabs that Biden attempted to force onto you through your employer and did force on members of the military, despite promising that there would be no jab mandate, did not work, according to Biden. The sound you hear is hundreds of conspiracy theorists about COVID-19 jabs exploding to the surface once again, all because Biden needs them to be a failure so he can continue to push his agenda. Now, I won't read any more of that because we all know what's going on. It's an election year. They're gearing up for an election year next year. So I heard by October, the lockdowns is going to start. You got to remember what starts in October. Cold and flu season. Cold and flu season starts in October. So once that starts to hit cold and flu season, they'll start to say, oh, well, you know, people are getting sick because of the new variant or whatever, right? So once that starts to happen, right, you then will get us probably being in lockdown until after the election is done. Because you got to remember what happened in well, it was really 2019, but in 2019 you had mail-in ballots, of which that's how the Democrats won. They was hoarding the ballots as well, and somehow, you know, Biden had what, like 20 some odd million or 20 some odd thousand more votes than Trump. Also, let's look at the whole Trump situation as well. you get to where they're subpoenaing Trump to for indictments. Those 4 indictments of which won't stick because they don't have them on anything. But at the same time, they're trying to get him out the paint as well because Joe Biden wants to be reelected. And I really hope he doesn't, because these past 3 years has been some bullshit. It really has. It's been some bullshit. But what are the current new COVID variants? So, this is what we got. There are 2 that are fairly prevalent and 1 that highly mutated variant. This is not a widespread for this is not as widespread for now. Every 2 weeks, the Center of Disease Control, I should have said their name, published projections of COVID-19 variants that are dominant around the country. The EG5 variant is estimated to be the dominant strain in the U.S. because it makes up the large share of new cases of COVID-19 compared to other variants. On August 18th, the cat dog cat established EG5 made up 20.6% of new infections. Behind EG5, unofficially nicknamed Iris by virus tracker T. Ryan Gregory on social media, is a long list of other closely related variants, virally all of which descended from the XBB strains that were dominant last winter. FL151 is the next largest strain at 13.3% of U.S. infections. The cat dog cat estimated dubbed Fornax by Gregory. FL151 has nearly doubled from the week prior when it was as it was an estimated 7.1 of circulating variants. Both EG5 and FL151 are XBB variants descendants that share a mutation known as F456L, which appears to be helping them spread more than other virus siblings. Authorities have also been tracking a new highly mutated strain of virus called BA286. The strain was nicknamed Pirola, Pirola, by user at JP Wayland on social media. BA286's prevalence remains too small to show up on the cat dog cat estimates and is currently being aggregated with its distant ancestor BA2, while only a small handful of cases have been spotted around the world, including one in Michigan. The strain's large number of mutations at some key parts of the virus have accelerated investigations into the risk that BA286 might pose. So this is the video. Hold on. This is the video that goes along with that. Anytime, man.
A fast-spreading new subvariant of the coronavirus is raising concerns among health experts globally.
The CDC says the EG5 variant, also known as Aries, is made up of the largest proportion of new COVID-19 infections nationwide. Data from the center projects that the variant caused approximately 17% of new coronavirus cases in the U.S. as of Saturday. That's an increase of around 10% from the first week of July.
Joining us now is Dr. William Schaffner. He's a professor of infectious diseases for the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Regular viewers will recognize.
Wait a minute, his name is William Shatner?
Nice him. He's always trying to give us good advice. Dr. Schaffner, COVID-19 hospitalizations are on the rise again as this new subvariant spreads. Tell us about what we know about this subvariant so far and how worried we should be considering what we've all just been through.
Well, Errol, you know, the Omicron variant loves to mutate and change. It creates new distant cousins.
Okay, Dr. William Schaffner, not Shatner. Okay.
And Eris is one of those new distant cousins. It's highly contagious. It's now starting to spread across our country and in other parts of the world. You know, Eris is that Greek goddess related to dissonance and strife. And I hope Eris doesn't cause that much dissonance and strife, because although it's highly contagious, it's not more severe. And isn't that a comfort? Also, our current vaccines, and certainly the vaccine that we anticipate having available this September, will cover and protect us from serious disease caused by Eris and other Omicron subvariants that are out there now spreading about.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking with some friends about the last time we had a booster shot. We used to get them so regularly, and it's been a minute. The World Health Organization has labeled EG5 as a variant of interest. I'm wondering what would need to happen for it to become a variant of concern, and how much more important does it then become for us to get boosted?
Yes, well, Lana...
I would say you don't have to, because we've all saw, and it came out, YouTube, you said we can talk about this. We all saw, and it was said that those motherfuckers, them jabs don't work. It was said, but they kept harping to us, take them, you know, help protect your neighbor, help protect your grandparents. And it's like, come on, yo. How many times y'all gonna try to tell us to do this and the shit don't work? Herd immunity, getting it is what helps us. Now, what happens down the line, I can't tell you because I don't know. But because that is soon to be projected within the next few years of what this shit does to us. So we became the test dummies for this shit. For the jabs, I mean. But it's probably biological warfare for the simple fact that, you know, we're in we don't have the greatest relationship with China right now, as well as Russia, but we don't have the greatest relationship with China right now. And it could be biological warfare. We're looking at hell. They found in California, Los Angeles, California. I believe it was Los Angeles, California. They found a hidden Chinese biolab. To the point to where the Town Disease Prevention Control had to go in, shut these guys down, look at what they were doing, investigate this shit. We haven't gotten any answers since, because who knows what the fuck they was doing in there. Now, who's to say that there aren't any more in the United States? That was just the one that they showed us. It could be far more. It could be far more around the country than what we know of. Then let's not, you know what I'm saying, gloss over what was going on in Wu-Tang. Y'all know what I mean. Hold on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But hey man, if this is what's gonna happen, just know it's all because of the election. And the Democrats want to win, but they don't have a good front runner. They don't have a good front runner. Biden, he's not getting reelected. Robert Kennedy Jr., we ain't heard from him in, what, a month and a half now? So,
become a variant of concern, it would have to either cause more severe disease or, even more importantly, evade the protection of our current and anticipated vaccines. And the Food and Drug Administration has said we'll have a new monovalent booster ready for the fall to carry us through the winter. We expect this vaccine to be available sometime in September, perhaps late September. So stay tuned for those announcements.
All right, Dr. William Schaffner, as always, thank you for joining us and for all that you do.
My pleasure.
all right. So, William Schaffner, I guess I can thank you. I don't know. But just know, people, you got 2 new variants. They got some vaccines coming. So, the only thing I really got to say is talk to your doctor. Please, I am not a medical professional. Talk to your doctor about all of this and what you should do as far as preventing yourself from contracting any of this. All right, moving on to the next subject, which is short. So the U.S. national debt surges in August. So with this here video, this is what's going on with that.
We've reached record debt levels, everyone. The U.S. officially hit $30 trillion worth of national debt on Tuesday. National debt has grown by $7 trillion since 2019. This is mostly because of pandemic-related costs on things like stimulus checks and other social spending. And as of December, 80% of all U.S. dollars were printed within the last 22 months, which is jarring.
All right. So, let's see what's going on. The U.S. national debt. What am I trying to bring up? I'm sorry. I forgot what the hell I was doing. All right, so America's national debt is rising at a rapid rate. The government's fiscal data platform shows that $116 billion has been added to the country's total debt since the start of August, bringing the total to $32.7 trillion. The exact number is $32,123,546,146.86. That is what our debt is at right now. So, the rise comes amid a fresh fiscal warning from the Heritage Foundation. The conservative think tanks, e.g., Antony says that the soaring debt and its recent ratings downgrade from Fitch should not be ignored. The downgrade by Fitch is not a big move in terms of overall ratings, but it is significant. The drop from AAA to AA plus is still firmly in the investment grade territory, meaning the odds of default in the near term is still extremely unlikely, but it should not be ignored. Okay, well, let's stop there. Now, I'm not a financial head, or I'm not, I barely look at these things, but when I do, I take my high school diploma and my cognitive reasoning skills, and I go to work. So, they're saying that it's extremely unlikely that we will be put in default, but since the term of a what's the damn word I'm looking for? Since the term depression, that's not the word I'm looking for, but it helps me. The term depression was altered. That's not the term that was altered. I mean, that's not the definition that was altered, but that's the only word I can think of. It was altered, what, this year sometime? And from what I read last year, that we was likely already in one. So with that being said, you see what's going on. Our interest rates have been raised several times this year. That's so that they can beat the debt down to, hell, I forgot what Obama put it down to, but when Trump was in office, it went down again. So it's crazy that we're now looking at our debt rose by $116 billion. Like, that's crazy. Like, I believe the numbers that I saw was we was at 23 trillion, then it rose to 26, and then after that it rose to 28, and this was all in like a couple weeks time, like from each other. Like, all together, I think it was maybe like 8 or 9 weeks, but it all happened within that time frame. To where last week it went up $116 billion. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Well, we also got to look at Biden's spending habits with a certain country and a certain proxy war that we're in, of which the president of that country asked for more money. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing here, yo? We can't afford this shit. But I'm pretty sure Biden's gonna get Congress's approval to send, I forgot how much he asked for, but he said it was to stop from not having, I'm sorry, he said it was to stop, if he receives the money, it will allow elections to happen. So basically, if they don't get the money, they're going into martial law. Shit's crazy. Okay, so debt is downgraded because the borrower is waving red flags. In the case of the U.S., we have over 32 trillion in debt and are currently adding trillions per year. Total annual interest payments on that much debt cost up about 1 trillion more than the entire defense budget, and spending keeps growing. That is a recipe for solvency and eventually default. Antony says congressional action is needed to revamp America's budget and avoid reaching a breaking point. To the point of, y'all remember what Biden ran off of? He ran off of he was gonna stop what do they call it? Student loan debt payments. He was gonna stop that, right? He then just came out and said by mid-October, either second or third week of October, that's going to be turned back on. That not we, because I didn't go to school, but people who are, or who haven't pay their student loan debt because Biden said you don't have to anymore, and he would give money, which I believe he only gave $1,000 each, that he would then help, start helping people pay down their debt or don't have to pay it at all because he wanted to do away with it altogether. But they're about to turn that back on to help not only inflation, but for the debt to stop rising so high. So, here's my thing. Of which we all know that these student loans are government-backed, of which, if you try to, if you go into bankruptcy, that's one thing that doesn't go into it because you have to pay that money back or whatever. So, since you can't, unclaim that debt or whatever, you have to pay it. Just look at our economy right now. Our economy sucks. Like, between 2018, 2019, a little bit of 2020, we had the best economy in years. That was under Trump. But as soon as Biden came in, all that shit changed. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing, yo? Like I said it time and time again, I'll be 35 this year, next month to be exact. I got, a month and 2 days until my birthday. I said this possibly starting last year or the year before. My generation is about to inherit this country. By the way shit is going with feminism, Marxism, and motherfuckers not want to keep their lineage alive. I fear for the future of this country. I really fear for this country because in no way, shape, or form is it going to be the same of what it was when, hell, my dad was growing up in the 70s. Well, the 60s and 70s, because, he was born in the 50s. But it's crazy, man, what the fuck is going on with this, and most people don't even bat an eye to it. They just, oh, well, that's what it is, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, we got people my age, millennials, and these zillennials as well. Y'all gonna have to get y'all's heads out y'all's asses and start realizing what the fuck is about to happen to this country. If you don't care, then fine. But we're going to have to figure out what is going to happen to this country once we inherit this motherfucker. We won't yet. I predict my generation won't inherit this country, and probably when we're almost 40. So y'all going, or not y'all, but we're going to have to figure something out. All right. So what did I have left? Okay, so Congress and the White House must immediately get their financial house in order. If they don't, we'll be right back on the inflation roller coaster, which we're already on it. We're still on it, to be honest, with more hidden defaults on U.S. debt that will mean even higher yields, which leads to higher interest payments, which means even faster growing debt, and so on a vertical death spiral. Time is running out before we reach the point of no return. And I hope it doesn't get to that, because if it does, you thought the Great Depression was bad. Just wait until we're like one of these third world countries. America looking like a third world country. Man, fuck out of here. Anyway, people, that concludes today's show. I hope you guys love what y'all saw. I covered an array of topics today. I'm proud of myself. I wish I had an applause button here, but I don't. But I'll just give myself a DJ. Anyway, let's do a summary. So, with the banter portion of today that went a little over, I spoke about the young lady who basically blamed Dr. Frances Cress Welsing for how people view how people view feminism in the LGBTQ community. Although she feels as though that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was wrong, in hindsight, she was actually right. So, she doesn't believe so, but if you're me and you're anybody else that knows that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was right, then you're on the right path, sirs and ma'ams. So, then we get to Brittany Renner and her shenanigans. Man, the only thing I gotta say on that is this. That girl is fucking nuts. Like, literally, she is fucking nuts. And whoever out there watched that podcast episode that she was on, then like I know, something wrong with that girl. I'm just judging it like this. Maybe when she broke up with PJ and found out that nobody wants her ass, then I guess life set in. Life set into to the point to where she probably went down a downward spiral. So maybe the night of the podcast, maybe she snorted a little something. Maybe she, popped a little something. Maybe she smoked a little something. We don't know. Maybe she drank a little something. We don't know. All we know is that we saw the aftermath of what her actions showed us, and it's just ridiculous. So, then we went into Biden announcing that there might be more COVID lockdowns. Hopefully that they're not, but judging the fast pace of the viruses spreading like they are, there's probably a possibility that there will be lockdowns. But at the same time, if you look at it like this, it was inevitable, possibly. So that's what we got. And then did with the financial stuff with the U.S. debt. Hopefully we can get this in order, because if not, we're looking at a very weak economy within the next 2 years. So, plus, if Biden's still in office, then we might as well kiss this place goodbye and offer this place to the highest bidder, because we ain't gonna be able to pay that shit down. So, but they say you're worth as much as you owe. So, I guess we rich. We rich, bitch. But anyway, that concludes today's show. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed. So I'm going to do some promotions, and then I'm going to get us on out of here. So if you have watched this show all the way through, if not, if you're watching the replay, you can just skip through and see the chapters that I have. But This show comes on every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Marcus Speaks Live is that show, which you are watching now. And Marcus Speaks Play, give or take, could be on next week, if not the following week. I'm still determining what time I'm coming on, but if I can get everything in order before next week, I have an extra day off of work, so I will be working diligently to get that shit done, so I can go ahead and start the process of gearing back up, playing video games for you guys, so y'all can see the gameplay of my favorite games, and maybe you want to buy some as well. Buy those games as well. So yeah, check me out every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then please look for the announcement of my time on Saturdays for Marcus Speaks Play, and I hope you guys don't forget to come and check me out. These shows run long, but when I, start getting a good amount of people in here, the phone lines and the link is always open to whoever wants to come up here and talk and chit chat or debate. So whatever you want to do, let me know here in the backstage with, either hit the link or hit the call-in number at 302-283-9791. I repeat, 302-283-9791. So yeah, if you ever want to come up and come speak, you can. Just let me know either in the live chat or come back here, do as I asked you what these rules and the rules are. Please be on camera at all times. That means here on the backstage, you have to be on camera, and if you want to speak to the people, you have to be on camera. But if you don't want to, that is fine. Let me know your answer with your name back here. Don't make it a conversation there in my private chat. Just give me your name and your answer, and I will accommodate you from there. And then if you could, please silence all background noise. That means your children, your dog, your cat, your hamster, your fish, your husband. Anything that makes noise, please silence it before coming up here, and we can talk. All right. And lastly, if you could do me this one favor, it's free. Like this video, subscribe if you're new here, if you like what you saw, and also please share this to your loved ones, your co-workers, your social medias. Please do me that favor. Please get the word out, because podcasts spread word of mouth. So make sure you guys are doing me that favor. That's all I got. The last thing I have is please focus on getting to the money, because money makes the world go round and everybody likes money. Also, please do yourself a favor for your health. Please drink more water. It helps you lose weight faster. It hydrates you. Make sure that you're healthy. So make sure you drink more water. Mind your own damn business for your mental health purposes, because a lot of motherfuckers go all crazy nowadays. Probably half the reason is they're probably not minding their own fucking business. So make sure you mind your own damn business. And also, if you don't believe a damn thing I said tonight, do yourself a favor, do your own research. Helps you out in the long run. I've been your host, Marcus. This has been Marcus Speaks. I thank y'all guys for watching, and I'll check you guys out next week. Peace out, y'all, and have a good weekend and a good holiday.